Thank you, Mr. Secretary. You may expect I have a few more words to say, but then...
Should we go in seniority?
No, I said, I checked that with Judge Johnson. He said no. Service on this board has been a good experience, but I anticipated it would be when I got the names of the people I had served with here. You were excellent colleagues. To paraphrase the late Charles Schultz, thanks for the opportunity to serve with you. The anticipation was only exceeded by the actual event. Secretary Ritchie, I want to thank you and your staff for how well you have conducted these proceedings. Everything was well organized, and I have always been kept fully informed. Mr. Poser, thank you for your work in coordinating the recount. You have done an excellent job for us and for the people of Minnesota. I am aware that at times you may have felt my questioning a bit tenacious, even relentless, but please understand asking questions is what I do for a living, and I did need to know the answers to questions. But my biggest thank you is going to be reserved to the election officials who have given service above and beyond the call of duty. Some names come to mind: Rachel Smith and Joe Mansky of our two largest counties, Hennepin and Ramsey; Larry Jacobs from Renville County, who braved an 11-inch snowstorm in order to deliver the county's ballots to us; and to Wayne Stein of Otter Tail County, whose diligence led to finding an errant ballot that was stuck in one of the voting machines. These are the people who we need to thank. But they're just representative of all the election officials in our state who have been conscientious in their efforts to make sure that every validly cast ballot was counted. They are the people to whom we owe the greatest debt of gratitude. Their diligent work is what makes Minnesota's election system function well. They're vitally important to making democracy work. I wish to second Justice Strauss's thank you to the attorneys for their help in getting the work of this board completed. This thank you includes Attorney General Kristen Yeller and Solicitor General Alan Gilbert and your staff. Thank you. At this point, I do believe that a few words of clarification by me are necessary. Much has been made of the exchanges that occurred between me and my former colleague, Supreme Court Justice Eric Magnuson. Some people have told me that I may have been a bit too stern, even harsh, during our exchanges. Thus, I think some clarification might be necessary. Last Thursday, I did learn that the number of challenged ballots might exceed 9,000. I knew that that number would render the task of this board nearly impossible to complete. I also learned of some statements saying that this was a political process and partisanship was part of it. I really deemed those comments inappropriate. At about the same time, I looked at a packet of 84 challenge ballots from Hennepin County. I reviewed them one by one. Said that one by one I reviewed them. The best way to characterize my reaction is to say that I concur with your comment, Judge Johnson. It was ludicrous. What really struck me, though, as I looked at those ballots, was the knowledge that behind each ballot was an individual voter, a citizen who had registered to vote, who had taken the time to go to a polling place, who had cast his or her vote, and now someone, for partisan reasons, was trying to disenfranchise that citizen to take the vote away. I concluded that something had to be done about this behavior. Now, at this point, I think it's important to understand, and everybody understand, how we judges view ourselves. We understand that the citizens of this state are our boss, and we take this relationship very, very seriously. Each judge on this panel knows to whom he or she is accountable, to whom he or she has a fiduciary duty and an ultimate responsibility. We know we have a duty to protect the interests of the citizens of this state. You may recall that at our first meeting, I attempted to send a clear message that frivolous ballots were not welcome. Obviously, this message was not being taken to heart. I concluded that this message needed to be restated with force. Unfortunately or fortunately, Mr. Magnuson, by appearing before this board, you became the vessel through which I was going to deliver my message. That is why I did what I did. It is not because I had any doubts about your professional standards. In fact, it was just the opposite. I know that you adhere to the highest standards. But I also know that you needed to have a template available to you when you conveyed our message to those who had transgressed, in my mind, and had not adhered to the standards that we expected. I do believe that subsequent events show that my confidence in you has been totally justified. If my comments were a bit harsh, I apologize. but it was with the foregoing purpose in mind. Please be assured that it was not because I had any doubts about your professional standards. I do not. I know that they are high. In this regard, I want to make it absolutely clear that I have the absolutely highest respect for your professional standards. It is respect that you have achieved in the old-fashioned way. You've earned it. One final point before I finish. Those who know me well know how I truly love this state. It is a privilege to live here, and it's a great privilege to serve the people of this state. I want to thank the citizens of Minnesota for giving me and the other members of this board the opportunity to serve you. I hope that we have served you well. We have surely tried to do that. We fully understand and appreciate the privilege of service that you have bestowed on us. We fully understand that the only thing we can do in return for this privilege is to attempt to earn it by what we do each and every day. I hope we've done that. I hope you will conclude that what we've done on this board justifies the trust and confidence that you have placed in us. Thank you.
Thank you, Justice Judge.